Hello students, welcome back to Ekcel Academy's YouTube channel. In this video, we are presenting the current affairs update for 23rd, 24th and 25th May 2020. Now before we proceed, let me just remind you that our video classes are available on our website. You can click the link which is given in the description and register yourselves and make the best use of the content available in the website. We have uploaded videos related to business communication, legal aptitude, economics and business environment, and even on current affairs. Our app is available in the Google Play Store. You can download the app and make the best use of the content which is already uploaded in the app. We are uploading CSEET paper 4 part B, which is Viva Voce for you all, and videos related to this are being uploaded, and you can make the best use of these videos. It will help you to prepare for the Viva Voce. Right, let's start with the first news bit for the day. It is coming from RBI, and we all know RBI stands for Reserve Bank of India. Now RBI has reduced the repo rate by 40 basis points, and now repo rate stands at 4%. Repo stands for reverse purchase order. In simple terms, it is the rate at which RBI lends loans to the banks. So it means that banks would be getting loans from RBI at 4%. So what would be the impact of this? Banks in turn would be giving loans to the consumers at a much lower rate. So that's a good news that comes at the time of this pandemic. We know economic activities have slowed down worldwide. So this comes as a reform from RBI. Now what is the fear that the whole world is staring at? Reduced economic activities, recessional trends, etc. So putting money in the pockets of the industrialists and common people is very, very important. So this is the measure RBI has taken. Now, according to few reports, it is told that in the financial year 21, India would register 0% GDP growth. This is very, very bad. Not just India, it is better we are at 0, but there might be countries which might even register negative growth. So this is not a problem faced just by India, but countries across the world. So RBI is gearing up to face this kind of economic crisis. Now inflation will be a problem because there will be more and more of supply of money, so the value of money might decrease. So RBI is telling that they will have a watch on the inflation trajectory. Now this move of reducing repo rate to 4% is praised by the bankers as well as by industrialists. If you see today's newspapers, everybody are very happy that money will be available at a low cost. So this is the news. Now, who is going to face the problem? Like we have been discussing, every time there is a development, especially related to such index numbers like repo, inflation, exports, imports, markets, one section of the business will be positively affected and another part will be negatively affected. Now, if you see this, people who have deposited their money in banks and who depend on the interest that they earn from the deposits, and that is their source of income, such people will have to face problem, because once the rate of interest on loans is reduced, you can expect the interest on the fixed deposits, recurring deposits and other things will also automatically get reduced, and it's a problem. So what we understand is depositors stare at lower returns, especially people who are retired and who depend on the deposits that they have in the bank. They will have tough times. Right, we'll go ahead. Pre-Kharif crop area up 36% on favorable conditions. So this is a good news for us, because we still have around 60% of our population which depends on agriculture, and agriculture is one of the biggest employer in the country. Employer, when I say, there are a lot of people, a lot of families which depend on agriculture. So when the area under agriculture increases because of good conditions, we can expect higher economic activities. And we also know a big geography of India is under the rural area, so it will help the rural population in a big way. So this is a very positive news that is coming in. Next thing that we have to understand is India plans scrutiny of new FPIs from China and Hong Kong. See, there are a lot of theories, hypotheses, conspiracy theories which we get to read, especially after this pandemic. There are hypotheses which tells that this whole episode of COVID is designed by China, and they have designed it in such a way that the entire world economy collapses and companies' share values fall drastically. And when the share values fall drastically, China will pitch in with huge investments and pick up all those companies. So that's the idea, or that's the hypothesis that is prevailing in the world today. In order to keep a check on such activities, Indian government is thinking of coming out with plans which will scrutinize every single investment that comes especially from China and Hong Kong. So it's a very positive, proactive move by government of India. KKR to buy 2.32% stake in Jio platform. So Jio is in news for almost 1 month now. It all started with Facebook investing 43,000 crore rupees on Jio and picking up around 9.9% of stake in it. It all started with that. Then we read about Vista investments coming in. Then we read about right issues, and this is the 5th deal which is related to Jio. And what we see here is KKR. It is one of the biggest investment firms in the world. They are investing around $1.5 billion, and that comes to around 11,367 crore rupees. And they are picking 2.32% stake in Jio. So Jio is in news worldwide. Big investment companies, big companies are all investing on Jio. Let's keep a watch on this news. And Reliance Industries Limited. Right, Amazon to hire 50,000 temporary workers in India. So this is another news. We are seeing again companies like Swiggy, then we have Zomato, then we have Amazon. They're all in news. Even Facebook has is planning to activate an option called Facebook Shop. Yesterday we read this news. So everybody are getting into distribution of goods and services in the country, and this seems to be another big business that is emerging in the country. So there are 2-3 things which are growing very big. One is the internet business, especially related to Wi-Fi, and then we have the online education business, which is becoming very, very popular. Then we have all this Amazon and Swiggy and Zomato, who are into delivery of goods that people would require. Right, let's go ahead. Godrich Industries clocks 102 crore profit in Q4, net sales at 3,121 crores. Now, when did this company Godrej get established in India? It was established in the year 1897. So very, very long ago, almost 117 years ago, this company was established. And what we see is the company was set up by 2 people. The first person's name is Adresh Godrich, and the second person, his partner, was Pirosha Godrich. So they are the founders of Godrej Group. They first started with locks, and from there they went to industrial engineering, and they are also into real estate. It is a very, very popular company in the country. And now at present the company is headed by Adi Godrej. He is the chairman of the Godrej Group. They are also into chemical business. They are also into home appliances. It is one of the largest conglomerates that we find in the country. Right, let's go ahead. The last news bit for the day. Supreme Court seeks response from Centre on PIL seeking ban on Zoom app. Now, this is an app which is widely used today by educational institutions, companies. A lot of people are using this because Zoom app facilitates online meeting, and they have some wonderful options which makes online meeting very easy and user friendly. So there are concerns that is related to Zoom app, especially related to data safety, security, hoarding of data, all these things. And the company's CEO is Eric S. Yuan. Eric S. Yuan is the CEO of Zoom. He has apologized in public, and he has told that there are issues related to app, and now Supreme Court has sought the center to provide information on the public interest litigation which is filed against Zoom app. So this is something which we have to follow closely. We have to understand is whether the Zoom app is safe or not. Anyway, we'll keep a track. As and when we get inputs, it will be shared with you. This news bit comes from the Finance Minister, Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman. And she says that she has not closed the doors. It means that she is open for further reforms is what she is trying to convey through this message. And she says that future boosters depend on how crisis pans out, asks bank to extend loans without fear. So this should actually help the investors' morale to go up. This is a great news that comes from the Finance Minister. Like all of us know, when there is recession, depression, along with the economic and financial reforms, the morale boosters are also important, and this is one such statement that comes from the Finance Minister. US accuses China of blocking US flights, demands action. Now we know there is this fight which is going on between the two largest economies of the world, US and China. Now both these countries are engaging in one or other type of restrictions on the other country, and there are a lot of statements that are being exchanged and which is targeted towards the other country. So this is something which is not at all good, keeping in mind the globalized economies of the world. Anyway, we shall keep a close track of what's happening between USA and China. 97 dead, 2 survive in plane crash in Karachi, says Pakistan Army. This is another unfortunate event that happened in Pakistan. It's very unfortunate that 97 people got killed in a plane crash which happened in Karachi, and the plane went and crashed in a residential area, and this added more to the pain. Right, let's go ahead. BOB, that is Bank of Baroda, says 65 customers availed moratorium. Now we have been discussing about moratorium from the day RBI came out with this idea. Moratorium is a loan holiday where the loan borrowers need not pay their EMIs. That's the whole idea behind this. So Bank of Baroda has given the statistics, and it is telling that 65% of the customers have opted for moratorium. And we all know that RBI has extended the moratorium by another 3 months, and this moratorium may continue for few more days. Right, domestic flights to resume today amid confusion as several states set on own rules. Now we've been seeing that the aviation companies, railways are all trying to resume their regular operations. So it is expected that domestic flights will start flying from today, and the business activities may gain some momentum, but there is a lot of confusion, and for the things to settle down it will take some time. But from today, that is 25th May 2020, the flights are expected to fly. So let's see how it happens. Maybe tomorrow we'll get the update on this. 380 flights to take off at Delhi airport today, says the news. Right, reforms do not mean complete abolition of labour laws, says the Niti Ayog's Rajiv Kumar. This is another important news that we have to follow. Now, to boost the business activities, Niti Ayog, that is National Institute for Transforming India, told that they'll be bringing in reforms to change the labour laws. The moment this was told, the labour unions across the country and a lot of other associations expressed their concerns, telling that the labour class will be in deep trouble. But now there is a statement which comes from Niti Ayog, and it is told that the reforms would definitely be there, but doesn't mean that the laws would be completely abolished. Now this is something which is good. This should sort of give confidence to the labour unions and the labourers of the country. Now it is told that it comes from Niti Ayog's vice chairman. Very important. Vice chairman's name is Rajiv Kumar, which you have to understand. Right. Now, why is this coming, and what is the guarantee? If you ask, the Niti Ayog statement also covers that India has signed the International Labour Organization. India is a signatory of the International Labour Organization's signatory. So we are members of that. Being members of that, we cannot abolish the labour laws completely. So this should give confidence to the labour unions and labour union leaders. Right, let's go ahead. Netanyahu alleges overthrow attempt at start of graft trail. Now, we have been discussing, I had told you all that Benjamin Netanyahu has come back to power in Israel. He will be the prime minister, and there are allegations against him of corruption and bribery, and the court trials have already started in Israel, and he says that this is done in order to throw him out of the power. Benjamin Netanyahu is the longest serving prime minister of Israel, and he has done some great work for the improvement of Israel's economic and financial condition. So now there are certain allegations against him, and we just have to follow what pans out, right? Tata Motors JLR seek COVID-19 support package in UK. Now JLR stands for Jaguar and Land Rover. This was taken over by Tata Motors sometime in the mid 2000s, 2004, 2005, during that period, and it is one of the performing brands for Tata. After the pandemic, JLR is in deep trouble, and they have approached the UK government for support. Next news comes from the film industry. Now we know that because of the pandemic, no theatre is operating, and there are a lot of movies which were awaiting release in this time of the year. And what is expected here is all these movies are going for OTT release. OTT stands for over the top. Over the top is something like the Netflix, Amazon, Hotstar. All these platforms will be used by the movie makers, and their movies will be released. The Inox and other companies are unhappy with this move. We have read that they have expressed their discomfort over this move, but the producers feel that they'll be undergoing a lot of loss, and they have no other choice. So there are movies like Ludo, then Amitabh Bachchan's movies are expected to be released, and let us wait what happens. The first movie to be released this way is Gulabo Sitabo. That's the movie that is already released in the OTT. Let's wait and see how things will move on from this point onwards. Give up wishful thinking of changing China, says Beijing to US. Now that's what we also saw in the 24th May's update. Now this is 25th May's news that is coming, and here China says that don't try to mend us, or don't tell us how to conduct ourselves, is what China is telling to USA. So there is a lot of statements that are being exchanged. Nobody knows where this will go and stand. There is tariff war that is going on between USA and China, and there is delisting that is happening. Flights are being cancelled, and we never know what would all this lead to. Will this lead to another Cold War? Will this lead to a full-fledged war? We have no idea. We just have to wait and see what happens. So this was the news update for 23rd, 24th and 25th. If you want any clarification, if you want more updates, you can leave your comments in the comment section. We shall get back to you with news updates. Thank you so much.